This making process in the versions of Gamonedo, Cangas, and Onis. The first thing we will see is the workflow of making lots of this Gamonedo. As the first element of this workflow, we have the getTypeThis contract1 operation that consists of receiving some parameters of the form, such as the T selection and an identifier forwarded to TypeThis activity. Then this activity returns to the variable output getTypeThis operation that sends it to the form, so that the user can view this value is the entry for the selection of T select. Then comes the sequence mixing the three kinds of milk with the operation of the contract getMilk, sending the amount of milk to each type of activity addMilk and returns the results that we show later to the user. Then there is an activity, the warm milk activity, where the user can't interact. This activity maintains the milk's temperature. After this activity, there's another sequence with the operation of the contract addCord that passes the values to the activity addCord that calculates the cord from the liters of milk. Then comes the sequence where the mass is put in molds, the putMold contract1 operation. It passes the order to the activity placeMold. In the next activity there is no user interaction. It's the removeWay activity, from which the body loses the serum by itself. Then comes the salt sequence, the getSalt operation of the contract. It passes the amount of milk and calculates the proportion of salt in the same way that the addCord operation, starting from the liters of milk. Then comes the smokeThis, taking getFire the operation of the contract. Parameters passed to the activity woodFire return this message to be displayed on screen that the user has been a lot of smokeThis and that will get the This in the hat or cave, depending on whether the This is the Onis or the Cangas respectively. In the next activity, there is no user interaction. It's the maturation phase. Depending on the type of tea selected, the ripening is done in the hat or a natural cave. Then there's the sequence of packaging, the putPackage operation of the contract, which passes the parameters to the activity vacuum, which returns us to display a message indicating that the user filling phase has been complete. As the last element of this workflow, we have the recording of data in the database. We have a number of parameters by which we input data to store. and a number of assignments where we load these values, and that therefore be used at the time of the consultation insert. If you view the file called XAML insert lot.ts database, we see that the operation is a DB query to insert the values above. We will now proceed to demonstrate the manufacturing process that follows the workflow just explained. To do this, we will create a lot of this Gamonedo ONIS. It's showed at the bottom of the form. Then introduce the quantities of milk from goats, sheep and cows. Mixture is excellent. Add the curd. We have 67 milliliters. Then put the dough into molds. Add the salt. Smoking phase and introduction into the cave. Gamonedo Donis is vacuum packed and kept a lot of cheese in the database. Now let's check into making a query to the database, and displaying the result where we can verify that all data has been saved. Now proceed to a demonstration with the designer. We have introduced in our cheese activities, which are the activities of our project. Then we open our XAML file that contains the workflow and drag as an example insert cheese lot activity, which is the data stored in the database.